Yes, indeed. Welcome to another episode of Jason Files. This is your host, Sonny, aka Son, aka Sonny Wanda. Hold on. See, it's playing games with me now. Playing games with me. But, anyways, along with my co host, Mr. J Camp, aka Complete Full Circle. You heard me?
Yes,
How are you
indeed.
doing today, brother? How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Feeling great. I don't have to
Mhm.
work the regular 9 to 5, but I'm working
Uh,
the passion 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? So I'm putting the work in on the content, man. This is where I want to be, what I love to do. So happy to be
mhm.
here, my brother. You know what I'm saying? We got a good one today for him too. So I know the people gonna be tuned in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If y'all don't know, you should know, but we always cover either music, Marvel, or sports. And today we got a
Mhm.
nice little mashup for you guys. We're gonna head into the Marvel. What if season 3 is complete? We both
Mhm.
finally got all the way through it. So we're gonna do a little surprise. We're gonna rank our episodes 1 through 8, and we're gonna see. I want to see how Jake Camp you know what I mean, feels about some of these since we haven't talked fully about them. And on the other side of that, y'all know what season it is. It is playoff time, playoff season. The NFL is in crunch time now. It is all hands on deck. Everybody, anybody, please beat the Chiefs. You heard me? Everybody beat the Chiefs.
Please,
Please,
please.
please, my Lord. But we're going to talk about some NFL topics. Run back what we happened. Well, week 18, is that what that is? Week 18, the
Yep.
season finales, and got everybody's seeds locked down. We'll look at the playoff picture, and then if we have time, we'll jump into maybe a bonus segment or two. All right. With that
Mhm.
being said, we are Jason. You can see the
Mhm.
logo above my man Jake Camp's head.
Mhm.
Jason, we do have an album out. We have a project called Campfires on a Sunday. Yes, sir.
Mhm.
You see the mask. Please go
Mhm.
support it. You can find it anywhere: Apple Music, Spotify, all the other, you know what I mean, satellite streaming services that evolve around those. You can find it anywhere. Please go give it a check out. Yes, sir. You see it. You see it in all its glory.
All is
Two
glory.
phase like the Morrises. Demi Down,
Mhm.
Crosby on Demogorgon. Man, you talking over trees, but you know what I mean? Like, come on now, you know.
Yes, indeed.
So yeah, if you like golden
Mhm.
era rap, golden era hip hop, give it a listen. That's what we
Place to
do.
be. Place
All
to
right,
be.
indeed, indeed. All right, bro. Well, let's get into our first topic. What if season 3 episode rankings, man? Um, We haven't talked since you've completed the season. Well, I shouldn't say we haven't talked in depth. So we're going
Right.
to kind of do that in the midst of putting together our 1 through 8, basically. Or well, let me pull up the screen so you can actually see what we're about to do. Uh, Put it in. My bad. Got to get it together.
Mhm.
There we go. There we go. All right.
Mhm.
So we're going to rank them by tier, not necessarily 1 through 8. We could if we want to, but we're going to do my little ranking system. Top, they usually call it S tier. I guess that means superior, maybe, but we're going to call it the standard. Just like
Yeah.
everybody
So,
holds all movies and TV shows to that end game, to that Infinity War, to that Black Panther standard.
that's the standard.
That's the top tier right there. Then we're
Mhm.
gonna do the uncut dope. Those are dope. They're great, but they're slightly missing
Not quite on
something.
the standard level. Not quite on
Not
that.
quite.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna do. It was I. Right.
But
That's
it
the
was
the
cool.
meh. That's the C
It
plus
was
student
smooth.
right there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, that's the C plus. That's that George W. That's what we're gonna call that.
Bruh, the W. I'm gonna get through Harvard as a C plus student. Salute to George Dub, man, just for you know what I'm saying, for falling under you know what I'm saying, that Jenny bus system of
Yeah,
you know,
that nepotism.
the
We don't,
nepotism.
we ain't never mad at nepotism. Just don't
I ain't mad
get
at
your
that,
head.
man. You know,
Just
salute,
don't let your
salute to
head be too big.
facts. Salute to
No,
George
no,
Herbert, man, for making it do what it do,
absolutely.
making sure his kids eat good.
Indeed. Then we have our last tier, and that's the Nabra. You know,
That's like, get that
it
out of
just
here.
wasn't good. It just you'll never watch it again. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it was just everything about it. It just didn't hit your soul like it should. So
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna
Facts.
go that way. All right, man. Let me get my stuff together over here. All right. So we're gonna start with episode one. Me and you both. We actually talked about this on another pod already, episode one
Mm-hmm.
and two.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you had to put it in one of these tiers yourself, episode one, what if the Hulk fought the Mech Avengers? Where would you put it?
It's just all right for me, man. It's just this was the one where I felt like they was really doing too much. Like they and I get it. The show's called What If, but we went so deep into the what if black hole that we had a Hulk Zilla. That was just too much
We
for me.
did.
Like
We
I
did.
couldn't get there on it, man. I couldn't. It had me at first, with the mechs. I was feeling,
Right.
what I'm saying, Ruffalo and all like the key players being in it. The character list in this was dope. This really should have been uncut dope. But I think the storyline just went too far, man. It became just all right towards the end, especially compared to the other episodes, in my personal opinion.
Indeed. Indeed. Um, I'm with you on that one. I'm gonna put it in there. It was all right. And the reason why I put it there is because I wasn't too much tripping on that Hulk became, Godzilla or
Oh,
what is it,
Zilla.
a kaiju or whatever you call it. But for me, the episode lacked because of the characters that it had in it, and we didn't get to explore them. You understand? We had Shang-Chi, we had Moon Knight, we had Red
Man.
Guardian, we had Monica
Oh,
Rambeau, we
a
had
bunch of
the Winter Soldier. Like we had this wonderful cast of characters, and
should have been
we
a
knew
dominant
nothing
story.
about them.
Mhm.
We didn't get no depth out of them. We didn't even get to see everybody really get busy in their mech suits. You know what I
Nope.
mean? Like it just was, it was missing 15 minutes easy. It needed
Mhm.
15 more minutes of this episode.
Mhm.
The kaiju thing, I can buy how it became. I can't buy how how the apex came along. Like Bruce,
Yeah.
you
That
really
was
thought
extra.
more gamma. You thought more gamma was the cure to getting rid of the Hulk. That's wild. You supposed to be one of the
Mhm.
smartest in the world. That didn't
Yeah,
that
like
didn't work for me.
that was a miss because there's no way the real Bruce would have been on that, man. Like
Right.
he's like, no, like
Facts.
get the gamma out of my body, bro. Why you kicking the
Right.
gamma up on 100? Like I don't need
Facts.
100% gamma. I'm trying to get it out of my bloodstream. Like
Exactly. It just didn't make
yeah,
sense to me. He need to talk
mhm.
to the sacred timeline, Bruce. He would have gave him some sound
Facts.
advice.
Facts.
For real, for
I'd have
real.
been happier if that guy would have came in like Barry Allen, like running through the joint, like don't do it. I'd have been
Not
cool with
Barry
that.
Allen. He came in from the DC universe to tell him don't do it.
Like, don't do it. I've seen what happens. You know, that's what I would have respected that more than anything. Silver Surfer
That's
coming in
wild.
or something. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
Yeah.
it's
It was too
anybody dropping the jewel.
they really had a ending they wanted to get to, and they didn't have any middle or filling to really get there, but
Mm-hmm.
they tried to make it happen. All right, well, now we know that was just I, it was
Mm-hmm.
just I. Hey, real quick, is your mic on or is that coming through your headphones? Because
You
feel
know,
like it breaks up every now and then.
ah, you right on point.
That's all good.
Yeah, let me hold on. I'll get there
Mm-hmm.
here in just 1 second. I'm glad you said something now.
Yeah, that's why I said it now, so we didn't get too far in. But yeah, I was
Hmm.
like, why is it breaking up like that? But anyways, yeah, man, the episode was a spectacle. I appreciate it. It's not it's not terrible. I definitely will watch. I actually watched it at least 3 times already, but I was hoping every time that it just pulls me in more, and it hasn't. So you can almost say it's a Rizzo on that one, but it was a good attempt, and I wouldn't mind seeing another variation of that episode with just more fleshed out. You know, how
Nah,
you looking over
actual
there?
factuals, and I'm good. I should be good on my audio. I'm getting my video
Okay,
back
getting your
on
visuals
point.
back. Yeah, yeah, your audio is
Yeah,
gravy train.
yeah. Technology, man. You know how I do.
Yep, it's all gravy train. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
There we are. Uh-oh, you got disconnected. Mm, 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 mm.
Man,
Back on stage. There we go.
me at the joint. It's like
Huh?
I said, it's like somebody booted me at the joint. I was like, what's going on?
Um, all right, so we get down here. All right, cool. All right, so next episode. All right. Episode 2. Say, what if Agatha went to Hollywood? I'm pretty sure both of us love this episode.
Man, it was dope.
Um, yeah.
Dope episode.
Where would you put it?
I would probably put that as uncut dope. Um,
Mm,
I would almost call that standard. Uh, like
yeah,
what
it's
made
tough.
that not be the standard was just the Eternals character that they chose. Like the finger pistols, like I felt like
Mm.
I feel like he's really the weakest one. Even though he fits what they were trying to accomplish, I just
Hmm.
wish they could have had somebody like Icarus. It's like somebody Athena, like with just a little bit more. I
Right.
can body everything in here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I didn't like they chose the weakest one to me. That's why I can't give it the standard. But everything else, the screenplay, the acting, the
Right.
storyline that they chose, because that's one I would have never thought of. Like
Right.
Agatha taking on Harrison,
Harrison.
like
Yeah.
I
What?
would have never came up with that at
Never.
all. And then
Never.
pulling the juice out of the baby
Hmm.
celestial,
Yeah.
I would have never like thought of that. That was such a wild idea that I thought worked,
Yeah.
and it was dope.
Nah, they made it work.
That
I
only Catherine Hahn can pull off.
Yeah, she's top tier, period. Even through
Hmm.
voice acting, she's top tier.
Yeah,
That's what's crazy.
she's supreme, bro.
Yeah, she is really. Whew, man, I'm almost willing to put this in the standard. The reason I would put it in uncut dope for the reason that they didn't show some stuff. So I don't mind that they had Kingo because he's Hollywood, you know what I mean?
He's a
His
Hollywood.
comedic
It fits. It
presence,
really does
he
fit.
he
Yeah,
just balances with Catherine Hahn's actor so
perfectly.
well. He's perfect for that. The
Yeah,
problem I
that part
had
I did
is
love.
she showed up with everybody else's powers. So you mean to tell me that she has bodied all the Eternals and you're not going to show me?
Hmm. Right,
She just
right,
showed
right.
up
That
to it
that
with all the powers. She
what's
beat
they did in the
Athena?
Flash scene. That
Yeah.
great point.
Yeah.
That's a
Like,
big miss because she beat some very. I mean,
like
Gilgamesh. He's
Gilgamesh,
raw
bro.
business, bro.
Come on, man. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
I mean,
Icarus, like I mean, like they
uh,
all are phenomenal. Like,
Right.
I mean, I was hating on Kingo, but even he ain't no
He's
lightweight. He's just the
nah,
weakest to me out the Eternals. Like when I
he is the weakest out of the
evaluate
Eternals.
all of them, he
Yeah.
might be as nice as Sprite. He might be nicer than Sprite.
Oh, I forgot about Sprite. Yeah, we don't trust Sprite, so you know what I mean. We don't trust Sprite, so she gets knocked down anyways for that.
Facts,
But
facts.
all right, so I guess we're both gonna go with Uncut Dope. Is that what we were saying?
Mm-hmm.
All
Mm-hmm.
right, bet. I like that. But no, it is a great episode, though. It is very
Mm-hmm.
unexpected. The most left, I don't even say it's the most left field, but it's the most pleasant surprise that we got this season, I think.
Pleasant surprise.
Yeah,
Pleasant
yeah,
surprise, man.
indeed. Indeed. All right. Episode 3, I think is called What If the Red Guardian Stopped the Winter Soldier? Hey, y'all. If you're watching this, I hope you've seen all these episodes, but if you
Yeah.
haven't, man, you're about to get a full dose of Red Guardian to the
Mm-hmm.
max. You're about to
Fun.
get Alexei, was it Shostakov,
Mm-hmm.
the Red Guardian, or
Mm-hmm.
David Harbour playing the character. You're going to get a lot of him. He is
Mm-hmm.
the man. I don't even know how to describe him other than just energetic, constantly on Winter Soldier's head. Pause, and he's first of all, he's a communist. Just let's get to be real.
He's just straight communist.
He's straight communist.
Straight up communist. Man, it's
for the working
when
class mob here. Like
Bucky wanted to slap that dude so many times. Like he was looking at him like, bro, like I just would jab
facts.
you in your face right now, but I
Right.
gotta hold the Thule. Like I gotta
got to.
take out these guys. But if you don't shut up, I'm about to point the Thule in your face, bro. Like that's what's about to happen. I'm here for
Facts.
business. I'm not
Right.
here. I don't care about the farmers in Russia. Like I'm
Right.
good. I'm here to do my job, fam. Like they were
Man.
polar opposites of like personality
Yes.
spectrum.
Personality
The
wise.
perfect combo in just the corny, dry comedy from Alexi just took me back to like 80s humor when it came to just like, you know, the
classic
John
buddy cop.
Candies of the world,
Yeah.
the Rodney Dangerfields of the world, like just that dude who just gets on your nerves, like the idiot, but you know he means well. Like everything
Right.
he's doing, he's passionate about it. Like
Right.
they're like, you know, he's looking at it from a completely different angle. He's doing it. He feel like he's doing his job, but he feel like he's doing the Lord's work at the same time. Man, I felt like how they stretched that both those characters was it was A+, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
This
this is
episode to me set the
very good.
standard for the rest of the episodes. Like I felt like that third episode, I was like, if it can touch this, because it was fun. It was entertaining the whole way. The characters
Right.
are entertaining. And then the characters actually developed. You know, like how they did character development was great too, man. Like when the
Right.
climax hit and Bucky was like, bruh, like you were supposed to do this mission. Like they hoodwinked you. And Alexi was just shook. He was hurt over the hoodwinking.
He was
You know?
done. Yeah. Yeah. He was so down for the cause. He was like, he couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? You mean I'm doing this mission for a capitalist pig? Like, you know what I mean? He was like,
he was hurt,
like,
bro.
He
like
was distraught.
He
He
was
was hurt real
done.
bad. Right. Right.
And then when he got his jewel up, he was like, you know what? We about to jump out this window and just start bodying.
We got to get busy. Yeah. Factuals. Yeah. This is the one episode I'm like 100% sure will be box office. Like we're going to get a variation of this through Thunderbolts coming in May, I believe. But if you put these two on screen and like made a buddy cop film out of this, I'm telling you, bro, this is box office. People love Bucky. Bucky doesn't get the justice that he really deserves. Right. I kind of wish he would go back more, you know, menace, Winter Soldier. But
back, being a menace.
We understand his journey. We've seen him be, you know, programmed deprogrammed, reprogrammed, come back to feel human, get reprogrammed. Like he's
Listen,
seen
man,
everything. We've seen him cry. Like, we've
he
seen
was
all
dipped in them
facets of Buck.
waters. He was dipped in the waters in Wakanda. That'd
Yes.
change any
Yep.
man's life.
Yep.
He seen what was going on. He was like, "Oh man, y'all going this hard for your people, and you went hard for
Right.
me." He
Yeah.
went over and fell in love with them cheeks and everything that he's seen over there. He was like, "I'm
You
good
know
over
what I
here."
mean?
He's like,
He didn't care that he
"I'm
looked
good."
like Michael
He's like,
Jordan. He was like, you know
"Yeah."
what?
He's like, "I'm out the game, fam. I ain't trying to body nobody. You see all these cheeks just walking around in this world? I'm good." And we got a protective dome
I
over
was
us.
about to say, you got the
Ain't nobody
dome.
about to
You
pull
in the
up.
motherland. Hey, shoot. He was living it. He didn't even need both his arms at that time. He was like, I'm cool
He
with just
was,
this one boy.
yeah.
Let me
He's
just
like,
let
"I'm
this
cool
left
with
live.
Factuals,
But
man.
I agree that this is a standard. This is
Mhm,
should go in the standard. The action was great. This is the type of stuff I like to see. It's not a lot of
mhm,
superpowers, but they're, you know what I
mhm,
mean? They're super soldiers,
mhm.
not a lot of flashy stuff going on. It's just I'm whooping cakes, you know what I mean? I'm out here smashing boys, you know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
Pause.
Balls,
But
right?
so we're gonna put that in the standard. I like that. I like that.
Mhm,
All right.
mhm.
So the next one, I don't. What is the episode actually called? It's what if Howard and Darcy had a? Is it had a child? Is that what it was? I
Yeah,
can't.
like what if they? I need to look up the name of the episode.
Yeah,
Actually,
I do too.
I
But
feel like it should be called "What If Howard and Darcy Had a Child." They picked the
yeah,
two
yeah,
most random people to
bruh.
have a seed, though.
Man, now I will admit to you, bro. This is actually one of the best episodes. If this is your kind of humor. This is
Mhm.
one of those odd pairings, similar to, uh, the Red Guardian and Winter Soldier. This is probably a little more odd, of course. You're talking about a
Or
duck.
like Rocket and I like Rocket and Groot.
Yeah, yeah, just an odd pairing, but somehow they have an egg baby. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
But the journey that they went on, though,
Was
you have to
supreme.
admit was
Like
epic, though.
it was
It really
lit.
was an epic joint. I
I
mean,
wasn't
they brought
expecting
out
it.
every MCU villain known to man for this episode.
Mhm.
And they
They
just went
wanted
on a
an egg.
wild, wacky, Looney Tune esque adventure
Mhm.
and escaping. You got you got Loki
No
trying to
power.
sell his condos in Jotunheim. You know what I mean? Like, he was full on real estate agent.
Oh my gosh, bro.
But the comedy was just it was good in parts. Some of the stuff doesn't, I don't want to say jive with me. It just don't land with me. But some things
Yeah.
did. Like when Thanos showed up, dog, I was hurt. Where's the
Mhm,
stones? You somebody see the stone?
mhm,
Oh, I was dying, bro. I was on
mhm.
the
Like the
ground.
Ebony Ma and all them
Yeah,
was there too. Yeah.
facts. Ebony and them was there. Malekith. Hey, it
Yeah.
was so many villains in there, and it was
So
just
many,
one
like
big
every
melee.
villain was in there. Yeah, with one big melee,
Yep,
man.
yep. And then we had
Hercules pulled up.
was
No,
that
not
Hercules? No, that was
Hercules.
Zeus. Yeah, Zeus.
It was
Zeus pulled
Zeus.
up.
Zeus pulled
Yep,
up.
yep.
Yeah.
All for a magical egg, which
And
we'll
then he
get
was
to
like, "Oh,
later on.
I'm out of here."
That magical egg turns into something for real,
he
actually,
seen
which is crazy.
he seen how powerful that seed was. He was like, "Oh, I'm
I,
smooth. Let me head on
I'm
back to
good. Let me bat
Olympus
out here.
where I was chilling."
Hey, man, this episode was so busy. It was chaotic, but it was enjoyable. It's one of those that you can
Yeah,
really like sit down with anybody
and
and
watch that.
watch. Like it's really no
Yeah.
context, really. I mean, if you know the villains, you know them. If you don't, it don't matter.
Mhm,
It's just a big melee for a powerful magical egg, apparently,
mhm,
So and it just was good to me. And we had
mhm.
Fury in there. Fury out. That
Right,
shit had
Fury
me
out.
hurt.
Right. I mean, yeah, yeah.
Oh man. So the real question is, do you put this in uncut dope or the standard dope?
I would
That's
probably actually this is more standard than uncut dope for me for all the reasons that you listed because of
mm-hmm,
the humor, because
mm-hmm,
of all the villains because of the storyline. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're a parent, you feel the passion to you
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
do everything you can to make sure that egg is not. Ain't nobody getting
Egg
this
is
egg.
safe.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? I don't care
You know
who it
what I mean?
is. Like Howard was like, nah, we about to. I can't fly a ship. You know how to fly a ship? No,
We're about to make
you about
sure
to
though. We're
learn.
gonna make it
About
happen.
to learn, right? Man, like just the links that they had to go through, going to the different planets, like talking to the different people, man. Like Fury
Right.
pulling up, saying like, "Nah, let us handle this." Like we got.
Right.
I love how they did this episode. I really, really did. This is not.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's not my favorite episode, but I feel like visually, my writing perspective,
Mm-hmm.
acting perspective, I feel like this is what this is where Disney shines is when they do things like this that can just touch so many different elements and hit so many
Right.
different places for different people of all ages that watch this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is like the one where I can say they hit every gen on this one.
They really
It
did.
wasn't too outlandish. They wasn't trying to do too much. They wasn't trying to be like socially like hold the social banner for one group or another. This was just a good
It's
fun
a good episode.
episode, man.
Absolutely. Once you got past the thought of, damn, how did they get it? How did they get this egg though? Once you got
Mhm.
past that, it was like, okay, they're just about to go all
It just
wacky
got
on us, and
it became
we just
entertainment.
roll with it. Yeah,
Mhm.
factuals. I like that though. So we're gonna put that in the standard. We probably surprising people right now, to be honest,
Probably
because
because most people would
that's
probably say
one of
it's
the
alright or uncut dope, but
yeah, yeah.
to me, when I really the way you laid that out, because I was thinking uncut dope like first, but the way you laid it out, I was like, you know what? I gotta I
It is.
it's more standard than uncut dope for me. Like
It's what if it's really
it's on
about.
the line, but it's more up in the standard tier than it is the uncut dope tier for me.
Mhm. Right. No doubt. There we go. All right. Well, here's the next one. This is one of those, and I'm like, I'm not sure. But
Mhm.
what if the emergence actually happened? And that this episode had so many elements that was dope, but it's just I don't know, man.
Yeah.
If Tiamat, first of all, let's just get past this real quick. If Tiamat actually came out of Earth, how the heck is people still on Earth? You feel
Facts.
me? It's like
Facts.
that part right there is just so outlandish
Split.
to me.
Blown
It's
up.
like,
Like
what?
it don't make
Yeah,
no sense to me. Yeah.
that don't make no sense at all. And then to add on to that, oh well, did they ever explain how long ago this happened? Because I'm trying to see, did Riri actually survive the emergence, or was she born post emergence and it
They
happened
made
that
it
long ago?
seem like she survived it because she had too many jewels. I mean, they came to her was like, "Riri, you that one. Like,
I
you are
mean,
that one who can really
right?
cook." Almost like she was a golden child, like
Mm-hmm.
where Chandler Gerald had to save the little bald head Asian because that was a golden child. He didn't really understand why. Like he didn't
Oh
say, "Wow,
man,
like I'm over here rolling with a dime, and
right?
I'm about to
Factuals.
get busy, and now I got to go save it. All I got to do is
Say
save a
this
kid, and I
right.
can just live good. I'm good. I'm just a private detective over here, you know."
I, I, I
Like
want the knife.
we're here for the golden
Please.
child to save its life.
That's an all-time classic, y'all. If
It's an
y'all don't see
all-time
Golden Child, come on, man. Y'all gotta see that one for real. But yeah, that part right there of the episode, it really perplexed me. I wasn't sure.
Mhm.
But once you get past that, okay, so now she's going to the power broker and getting
I thought that was
uh,
dope. That
that
was
is
dope.
dope to see. How did she survive is crazy too, but yeah, I
And
mean,
still willing and dealing like she was doing
you know
before,
what I
like
mean?
she was doing the
She got
magic
all the
before.
same plugs. She's still plugged in.
Mhm.
Like, wow.
Mhm.
But yeah, and she obviously goes to power broker, gets what was that, a little whatever what do they call the little oven, the little kid's oven. Little,
Yeah, it was like
what
a
was
little
that?
easy bake oven damn near.
Yeah, a little easy bake joint. I'm like, okay, but she
With
just
the
needed that
jewel
for
in
the
it.
one
That had the
part. Yeah,
chip.
it had the jewel
One
in it.
chip. Yeah, like that was too
It's,
out there for me, man.
it's,
I was
it's
like,
a
come on,
lot.
you could have said she was going to pick up the Thule, like a Thule that like um Hydra had or something, like, you know what I'm saying, was buried in some type of mountain and she found the Thule. Like I would have rather them like went that direction than an easy bake oven. Like that was
Yeah,
just
it was
too,
weird. It was weird.
yeah.
I
I,
mean,
I
it's being goofy, I guess, just being light, but
yeah,
it was weird.
I can't
But
stand all that though.
she's basically brought in the fold to be able to defeat the Vision, though, so they can
Mm.
get to Mysterio, who happens to be actually old and decrepit and
Right.
hanging on for dear life at the
Hanging
end of all
on.
this. And I'm like, I don't know. The episode visually was fire. I think
It was
so. You
dope.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Riri getting the Vision armor, that was fire.
Mhm.
But all the smart techie stuff in it, like you're supposed to believe that she can put together something
In
in
like 2 minutes.
7 minutes. You think yeah, I think he gave her 7 minutes when she said she
Mhm.
initially needed like 12 hours or something, and she got
Right.
it popping. I was like, just y'all make it taking too many
Right.
too
Time
much
out, we
liberties.
gonna hold off Vision. Get out of here.
Right.
Man,
Get
like
out of here, bro. I mean, I
Wong.
get it because he gave him a
It's a
protective
Wong
spell.
statement too. It's a Wong type of cap that he typically always be doing too, man. It's like,
Hey, thank goodness for that protection spell. If he had had that, man, they'd have all died in like 3 minutes tops. All of them. Wakandan Dora Milaje's. Who
mhm.
else was in there? Who else?
Uh,
One of those was from Tao Lo from Shang-Chi. I forget what her
yeah.
name was.
Man,
What else we get in there? I didn't forgot.
man, yeah.
But
I'm gonna have to go
overall,
back
just the
to
premise of
that.
this episode was just too far-fetched for me, even in the world that they lived in. I was like, man,
Agreed.
that's just too much. And one other thing though with this is we're supposed to like really, have I don't say feelings, but like care about Riri Williams right now. We haven't got enough, of Riri in the MCU. Her show was supposed to debut like 6 months ago, so we're really supposed to
Right,
be this off the, on the piggyback and the tail end of that.
right, right, right.
So to be connected to that character, I mean, I love seeing, obviously, a genius black woman, become super powerful and all that, but we still don't care about Riri like that
Right,
yet.
right, right. We don't
You
have
know
enough
what I mean? Yeah.
passion. Yeah,
Nah, we
completely
don't.
agree. And I'm pretty
But
sure most of the viewership seeing that was like, I could have done without this episode.
I agree. I agree. All
Mhm,
right, we're getting close on time too. I know we took like 5 minutes to get your audio
mhm.
together, but anyways, what you think? It was alright, or is it a nah, bruh, for you?
Imma
I
say it
know.
was alright because the visuals was too dope for it to be a nah, bruh. Like, I can't give a nah, bruh. Like, the one
Right.
nah, bruh I have to say, though, was the Watcher saying, "Come on, Riri, you can do it." Like, nah. Now that was a nah, bruh. Mm-mm. Nah. 'Cause you sitting there saying that she fumbles the bag every time,
Every time,
and
yeah.
you not supposed to interfere, bro.
Yep.
You
And that's
kinda
the theme of
messed
the
up the
episode.
bag for in the later joints, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't like that part at all. I'm
Yeah.
not even really I guess they did that to set up the other episodes, but I thought
Yeah.
that was weak. That was a
Yeah.
nah, bro, for me. A
Yeah.
extra nah, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I understand why they did it. They needed a few episodes for him to intervene in some form of fashion just so he can get to the end. But
Mhm.
ugh, I think I'm almost ready to throw this in a nah, bruh. 'Cause
I
if
mean, facts. I mean, I was
yeah,
almost
let's go
there
ahead and
too.
do it.
Okay.
I don't yeah, nah, bruh. Let's just do it
It
because
it wa
I
it
mean,
was the
you
most
gonna hold it up against the
unnecessary
other one.
it was the most unnecessary episode. They coulda just went
Yeah.
straight to the Kate Bishop and Shang-Chi joint.
Yeah, facts. Oh, and just add one more thing real quick onto that episode. You let Tiamat be born in this episode and had no celestials in it, but you gave Agatha all the celestial work. That's wild. That's
Yeah.
wild. That's wild. But anyways, all right, next one. I think it's What If 1872.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is that the year? Yeah, I think it
Mm-hmm.
was 1872. Shout out to Marvel for not putting no black people in this one because when you know what I mean, we was right on that.
Yeah. We
It
was
wasn't
over on that
it wasn't good.
cotton station. We was
Yeah. I think it was right after. I believe it
it
was
was
right
right
after.
after. Right after. I mean, we just got the 40
Just
acres and a
got it.
mule.
Right. Just got
Just
it.
got it. I
They
mean,
were
we
still
just
plotting on how to take it back.
yeah, facts, man. We was
That's what
still
was
in the
going on.
midst of, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah. But they did keep it true to that time though. The
Mhm.
Chinese migrants,
Yep.
they did build a lot of that, side of the country.
The
And
Oregon
they did a lot
Trail.
of work with
They
them.
did.
Yep.
Mhm.
So I thought this was a pretty good episode. I haven't ran this one back twice, so I'm
Mhm.
really going off first initial thoughts, but
Mhm.
I think it was probably uncut dope. The
Yeah,
only
I like
thing
I
I
liked it.
would say that I didn't like was they made Shang-Chi sound straight up American. Like I would rather him be. I mean, I guess Shang-Chi is Canadian, so he doesn't really have an accent anyway. So I guess you can let that slide now that I think about it.
Mhm.
But it
Mhm.
just felt weird. But overall, I liked, kind of what they did. They gave us a
Mhm.
preview to the hood, which will be in Riri's show that we were just talking about. Um,
Mhm.
I kind of knew what was going to happen in the end. You know what I mean? Just based
You
on
can
what we
kinda see
got
that
from
coming.
Shang-Chi in the movie. But
Yeah.
it was some great action in it. Some nice suspense and some creepy moments because all those migrant workers hypnotized and kind of in that, what I mean, that's always creepy when you just got, I mean, people just really in a trance or anything. So it was a little creepy. Plus, his sister damn near being a monster at the end. Um,
Mhm.
and I like that and this sounds terrible, but I'm glad she did not survive just because that's just how shows usually go. Oh, you're gonna break
Mhm.
the curse and you're gonna be happily ever after with the sister. We need
Mhm.
certain shows and certain episodes of things to let you know you cannot win all the
One
time.
dinner.
That's why
One dinner.
Infinity War was one of the greatest movies of all
Bruh.
time. The villain won.
Vision had to be the casualty, bro. Like
Yeah.
he had to take the
Mhm.
L in order for, you know what I'm saying? Loki had to take an L in order for, things to develop the way that they did. So,
Right. Yeah. Agreed. So, how did you feel about this episode, though, for the most part?
I thought the episode was dope, to be honest, man. I love the Kate
Mhm.
Bishop, Shang-Chi pairing, because Kate Bishop, to me, has a heart of a lion. I mean, she's savage. I love her savageness, and
Yes.
she was the one that took Shorty out. You know what
Yes,
I'm
she did.
saying? And really
Mhm.
rightfully so. Because
Yeah,
she was
yeah,
about to
man.
she was about to cook Shang-Chi, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, the hood took out her family, if I'm not mistaken, and
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
it
yeah,
what happened? Yeah,
100%.
the hood. So
Yeah.
yeah, she was on some on-site shit at the end of the day.
This was a great, great episode to me. Almost a standard. The reason why I wouldn't give it standard, because I do feel there was some cheesy parts in there, like taking the kid with him. It's like he just didn't really do
Mhm.
anything. It was no
Right.
it was not necessary to take that seed with y'all. I don't care how much he wanted to go. He wasn't about to battle nobody. All he did was make it easier for y'all to get captured. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that
That's
type of stuff.
factual.
Like it just didn't make that part didn't make any sense. I'm not even really sure why they did that, but it felt like a Western, which
Mhm.
I
Yep.
like.
Yep.
Uh,
Yes.
if they would have cut that one scene out for me, it would have been the standard. But since they had that in there, I gotta rate it. If I'm rating it against, what I'm saying, the Red Guardian
Mhm.
and the Howard and Darcy joint, it's not as good as those.
Right. Right. I agree with you, man. I'm gonna go uncut dope with this one as well. I think it's a very good episode. Um, it makes me want more of Shang-Chi
Facts.
and Kate Bishop, just to be
And Kate
real.
Bishop.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
yeah, they're a good pairing. I think they would slide good together in a
Mhm.
movie. Yeah, definitely. I don't want him in a western, of course, but
Nah,
yeah,
nah, nah.
I,
But
I
just
think it was dope though.
I like the Kate Bishop character. Like she won me over in the Hawkeye joint too.
Mm, that's hard because
So
Hawkeye didn't win me over in the Hawkeye joint.
now the
Kate
Hawkeye
Bishop was busy
was
though.
weak, but they could have called it
Yeah,
Kate Bishop, and I felt like that would have
yeah,
been good enough. I mean, I like the Kate Bishop character. It's basically
yeah. I get you.
solid character.
All
Yeah.
right, so on to I'm gonna group these last two together because it's really like a run-on sentence. You know what I mean? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
what if the Watcher disappeared, and what if the last final episode of the trilogy of What If? How did you feel about this? Because one thing we know for a fact, the action was the
Mm-hmm.
action was there, but
Action was
everything
there.
else, how did you feel about it? And did the action do enough to keep it at least at uncut dope?
You know what? It was slow for me coming out the gate. I'm gonna just say off the dribble, I would put 7 and uncut dope slash it's alright, but
Hmm.
the last one was definitely the standard. Like that's what I
Yeah,
asked for. Like just
right.
from they brought out like I was like, okay, y'all got vision. Like I'm ready to see something. Just I like how they set that up. Like
Hmm.
the setup, the climax piece of it was great. I didn't like the slow burn. Like it took a minute for them like to get to the point.
Hmm.
Um, but yes, if I got to put these two together, I would say 7 was more uncut dope, and then 8 was more of the standard. I love how they made the
Okay.
play on the Watcher, man, and the Watcher kind of developed and had a better understanding of
Hmm.
humans due to what he like. I feel like the play on that, like his philosophy was
Hmm.
he was barring out
Right.
like the whole
Yeah.
joint. He
I
was so
mean, yeah.
humble. He was like, "Look, I'm trying to teach y'all what I'm over here seeing." He was like, "Isn't this
Hmm.
the reason why y'all brought me in?" You know what I'm saying? Like he
Facts.
was if he was had his pad out, man, he was
He was
barring out
going
on
in. He gave him a full
I love
24.
that, man.
Gave him
I felt like
24.
I was listening to Black Star featuring Black Thought. Is what I felt
Mm,
like I was listening to when I was hearing that dude just the wisdom that he was coming with and just how he was structurally and fundamentally changed by all those eons of watching stuff go
right.
on, and then how he
Mhm.
developed real relationships with like Peggy Carter and like with some of the
Right.
Storm, some of the other ones. Man, I thought that was a dope play because I would have never thought of that if I was writing it. But I feel like that tugged on the strings of emotions and getting people more like in tune to really see how this is going to end because you was really rooting for Uatu. I guess that's
Hmm.
his name. I was
Facts. Yeah.
rooting for him.
Watson.
I was
Yeah.
rooting for Peggy. Like I understand. Like Peggy really was going. That's why they were so scared of Peggy. The Watchers. They was like, oh,
Yeah.
she's one of them ones. You know
She
what I'm saying?
all in, bro. She is the
That
100%
is Peggy. That is Peggy.
about
Like
that. Yeah. She's about that. She's about right. She's Steve Rogers. And I mean, I
She's
mean, she's
Steve
Peggy.
Rogers
She's
to a
all the way.
T. Like
Yeah. She
she's
will
more
sacrifice
Steve
herself.
Rogers than Steve Rogers. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. The
she's
ultimate
that
sacrifice.
person, man. I thought
Yeah.
and that's what she did at the end. And that was just such a
Yeah.
dope episode, man. That's
Right.
definitely the standard. The 8 is definitely
Yeah.
the standard.
Uh-huh. I agree with you, bro. Episode 7, it was necessary just because you had to establish kind of
Yeah.
where Uatu came from and kind of the expectations of his character and his role and position in the universe in the fifth dimension. All you can do is watch, bro. But
Mhm.
if you come into something of this nature, and it's kind of a parallel to how we view society in general. When you
Absolutely.
super billionaire folks, and you know what I mean, like super rich people, you get to sit at the top of your skyscraper and look down on regular people. At what point
Mhm.
do they just are they not people anymore? And then when do they become people? You know, Uatu had a heart.
Mhm.
He was like, you know
Right.
what? These are not just stories for me to watch. If I feel I can help and it'll change the course of history in a positive way, I'm going to do that because these people they're out here busting their ass to save their universes and be good people. I'm gonna help them in a pinch if I have to, but I absolutely have to. I mean, absolutely, have to recognize that is one of those moments. I can't just do it all the time, but yeah, and he has a heart, and he had to convince. What did they call the other ones? I can't not remember.
I can't remember. They like the
it starts
council.
with an E. It starts with an E, and I can't remember
something council.
Something, but
because your boy was like, I have to protect this, like the creed of the council or whatever it was.
Yeah. Yeah, and they were just totally detached from reality at the end of the day. They had no heart. They was just really, I'm collecting the paycheck to do nothing but watch y'all. That's what I'm doing. I'm not doing nothing extra.
Standing on business, like what the principles were founded on, as far as their organization, they was gonna stick to their blueprint. Like, nah, man, this is what we built this group based off these ideals. This is what we stick. We took an oath. We damn near slit the arm and drew blood.
Oath. They took the blood oath.
Like they was willing to battle for that. Like I felt both sides. Like that's what made this episode so dope. It's like, look, man, I'm in the position I'm in. I'm the leader of this group because I sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? We wanted you in here because we felt you had the same mentality, and we just don't pick motherfuckers just to be picking them. We picked you because we thought you was ill, Watu. Now you want to tell me your name was a Watu. We about to body you now. I don't care who you bring your homies up here. They all done.
Bring them.
I thought that was such a dope. That was so dope, man. Like
they found out though. They messed around and found out because Watu is no sucker. We already know that. You know what I mean? Peggy is no sucker. He brought Sister Girl with him with Thor Storm, and then we got the new one, Birdie, which is a payoff from Darcy and Mr. Donald the Duck. That's one thing I wish we would have got, is a little bit of scenery with them before we saw Birdie.
It just develop it just develop
a tad bit,
a little bit more. So because there was a lot of people who probably didn't realize that was Birdie though.
Right. And they only put one scene in there to bring it together, and it was like 5 seconds.
Connective tissue. It was so quick.
5 seconds. I was like, man, y'all was a little too late with that, but luckily
that was hard body though. How they did that though. That's another thing that kind of like upped it up for me. 7, as far as being like uncut dope.
Yeah. 7 is definitely uncut dope. 8, the battle. Oh my gosh. Everybody had raw dog paws in this one, bro. Every single person did.
Everybody was off top of the ropes with the elbow, Coco Beware, Hollywood Cole. Who wanted with Hollywood Cole? Like it was wife beater Hollywood Cole. Come on. I don't know if the Clemson album, that skit.
Oh man, who want to fuck with Hollywood Cole? Oh yeah, right. He brought back Aquemini for that one. My gosh. Hey, if you don't know, you better go check out Aquemini. Our Outkast Aquemini album is that elite. Is that elite?
Top 3 for me, man.
Factuals. All right. Yes, indeed. So we got our list together. The standard includes the Red Guardian Winter Soldier episode, the Darcy and Howard the Duck episode, and the finale. Uncut Dope. That was Agatha's episode 1872 and episode 7. I was Sam Wilson and the Mech Avengers versus the Kaiju Hulk. And the Nabra was Riri, Stereo, and them.
Yeah, it was just
I wish, and the Nabra, it could have been so much better. Give him 15, 20
Vision in there battling, and I didn't like how just easily Vision just got cooked. she as soon as she turned around with the tooling, Vision was done. It was matter.
Vaporized.
Right.
Left nothing but his suit left. Everything else is gone.
Was gone.
Yeah, I don't like that. I didn't like that either. But White Vision was hard body in this episode, though.
Yeah,
He was
he
cooking
was.
everything.
He was.
Okay, just one more question following What If, because What If did one thing that I don't know if we'll ever get a continuation on, but What If created two characters. We had Kahori, which Kahori is fire. Kahori is super fire. And then we have Birdie. Do you think this is where their story ends? Or do we get a version of them in live action sometime? Mind you, the character that's playing Birdie's voice in the show is actually going to be in Fantastic Four First Steps. They haven't announced her character yet, but she did play Birdie in What If. So I'll leave it.
Got the kufi on.
Yeah. You can tell me if you think they're going to bring them back, and tell me if you actually want them to come back.
It's really hard to kind of like say that I want them back because it is a what if episode, and it'll kind of take away from the spirit of like the MCU shows and movies, but it is a dope storyline. So if they did want to bring it back in like a Loki or something that deals with a lot of like time jumping, like it'd been cool to bring them in like a Kang. Like if we still had Kang in the MCU, would have been great to bring them into that storyline, because then you could make the play off this is a variant of X, Y, and Z who's came into this realm. Like that would have been dope to do it that way. I don't know though, for people who don't get into stuff like what if, how are you going to sell that on those people and explain and develop the character? Because we
That's the
would
hard
already
part.
know who Birdie is based off what we've seen in What If. But the person who's only going to the movie theater, not even watching the shows, they
Right.
not gonna have a clue who this character is. Now they may not
Right.
care, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, how would you sell
Yeah,
that?
that's the hard part, is figuring out how to bring them to life in the movies and giving a good reason for the layman to care about said character. You know what I mean? I
The
could see
Tisdale.
Birdie. I could see Birdie showing up in like a Guardians of the Galaxy type situation.
Actual.
Just because all their characters are wacky. But
Mhm.
I know we didn't say anything about it, but like in episode 8, they showed that all these characters have hella variants.
Mhm.
As the three came together, was knocking all their variants and killing them across all timelines. So they do exist in more than one world. That's already been established. So I see it possible. I would hate not to see these guys in a live action, some form of fashion, even if it's just a split second in what is the Secret Wars, where they
Yeah,
just bring
I
everybody
would
in.
rather it be in like a X-Men where you got like Bishop,
Mm-hmm.
Cable, like people who time travel. Like I would rather see them
Mm,
in like something like that, to where then we can kind of okay, they around like when them Sentinels was over here bodying, when the
mm,
planet was damn near destroyed. Like I would rather see
right.
them in something like that where they're coming in to save, this specific Earth. I would rather see them like that, where
Okay.
they really
I
are
dig it.
like Guardians of the Galaxy type people.
Right. I agree with that. Definitely Birdie. I don't know. Kahori is the harder one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
For me,
I don't know
to
how you gonna
actually
spin
get
that
her in
one.
there.
I don't know how
She's
you
so
gonna
hard
spin that
body, but I don't get how they would bring her in. So,
because you can at
man.
least say Howard the Duck had a seed. You don't even have to say it was
Right,
by
right, right.
Darcy. You can
Facts.
squeeze it into a screenplay and just say, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Howard the Duck. in this particular timeline had a seed named Birdie.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I would believe that.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
I
I
will
would.
too. But who knows, man? This might be where their story ends, though. And what if? At least give us a comic book or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because
Right.
it
Facts.
almost would be a waste, especially for Birdie. She only got what 2 episodes tops.
Mhm.
I guess she did body every villain in the egg, though, didn't she?
Came out that egg like with the glow. You got that
You know?
glow. Your body.
Oh,
Like,
Last
like
Kraken is
Bruce
gonna be
Leroy
back.
in Vanity. And right.
Facts. Man, dude. All right, man. Well, shoot, that shit went way longer than we wanted it
Right.
to.
If we
Man,
wanted to.
it's
Right.
hard. I mean, that's a concept, though. I mean, we never got to talk about these things, so
Right.
we had to get them out. All right, so we're gonna try to get through all these, at least the recap and then the NFL playoff situation. All right, so with that being said, please leave in the comments what you thought about What If Season 3. Let us know what you think about our rankings and our tier lists. And do you concur or do you totally disagree? Either way, just let us know. We
Right.
don't mind. We ain't haters. Opinions are opinions. Everybody got one.
Fact.
All right.
Fact. Like, subscribe, all them you digs, you know, like we you know, we appreciate you popping in, you know, tapping in
Absolutely.
with us.
All right. So NFL Week 18, a little recappage. Tell me some of the matchups that you're thinking about talking about that had heavy implications on how the playoff seedings turned out. Obviously, last night we had. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say it was really like 4 main ones for me. The first one was Detroit, Minnesota, which we just seen last night, and
Last night.
Detroit cooked. I did not see that coming.
Right.
Sam Donald just couldn't get going, man. Like from the rooter to the tutor, man. Detroit defensively just locked in. Them being division rivals, like I would have expected Minnesota to show up for that one, but that was the first one. The second one was the Kansas City, Denver game, because that was the game Cincinnati Bengals just had to have. Like they was pulling for Kansas City, and you know, Andy Reid ain't about to do nobody no favor. He was like, no, like not only am I
Especially
gonna
then.
rest my quarterback with a bum ankle, I'm not gonna let Joe Burrow come in here hot. Y'all been in playoff mode more than any team. Y'all had to be in playoff mode. You know what I mean? You know how being
Facts.
Lakers fans, you know how the Lakers be having to be in playoff mode in like February because they so far in the standings.
Oh,
You don't want to play
playing.
teams like that
Yeah,
because like they already rolling. They already in that playoff bag.
right.
After that, it was the Steelers was already a playoff team, so that kind of didn't. It mattered for seeding,
It's a
but to
seeding, but that
get
was
in,
it.
really to get in, like Atlanta, uh, the Panthers, and then the Bucks and the Saints. Atlanta had to win to get in, and the Bucks had to win to get in. Like that was really was like for not just the division, but for the last playoff spot
Yeah, spot.
in
Right.
in the NFC. But those were the ones that I really was kind of like tuning in to see like what was going to
Right.
happen. You know, to see what was, you know.
See how
I
these
didn't
seedings
expect
shake
Green
out.
Bay to lose. I'll be honest. That was a shocker for me. I think Green Bay did sit some people after a while. So
Shout out
and of
to the
course,
Bears. Shout out to all the Bear fans who needed that.
facts.
Y'all needed that one.
Facts. They did. But one thing I will say, just on the Steelers and the Bengals, real quick, if that's how the Steelers is going to come out, they should have just set everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like
Bruh.
you just wasted tires on the tread to come out the way that you did offensively. Now, defensively, I thought they played well. I mean, Watt looked better than he did the previous week. Hayward was a beast in the middle, man. That dude was swatting so many balls.
Yep,
They
3 swats.
didn't give Burrow a chance in that second half. And I felt like the Pittsburgh offense let the defense down.
Big
And
time. big
coming
time.
off four, coming
There's
off
no
four
question.
L. If I'm coaching Pittsburgh, I'm like, guys, this is unacceptable. Like, it just is. Like, it's almost like they wasted prep time. All that getting the ice bath, like the trainers coming in rubbing the icy hot on the knees, on the back. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like
Mm-hmm.
we're just
Yep.
wasting our bodies to come out here and lose to a team that we should beat. Cincinnati has only beat like 2 teams with a winning record, and that was the last 2 weeks of the year, basically. Yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh is a better team in quotes
Facts.
than Cincinnati.
They are.
Cincinnati again. Salute the Cincy, the Bengals. They was in playoff mode. They had to have
Yeah,
it, but they did
their
not
offense
look
is nice.
great. But that's what Pittsburgh does. They would take teams out of what they do well. They did it to Philly. They shut down Saquon. They've done it to Baltimore many times. But it's almost
Yeah.
like they don't have that one person. And Shannon Sharp says something very, very astute when he was observing the Steelers, not on Pickens, but more so on Russ. He was like, Russ, you've been in the league too long to not go out of bounds. Like, why are you trying to bulldoze somebody at your size when the clock is running? Like, it's football 1-on-1. You're not fighting against the Bengals. You're fighting against the clock. Get your butt out of bounds, bro. Like,
Right.
you just
Right.
And if I'm Tomlin, I'm like about to pull my headset and everything, break my headset. It's like, Russ is better than that. Like, you can't. He did it twice in that last, like, because they could have gotten field goal range because you knew your boy was going to hit. If they got in field goal range, Cincinnati was
Yeah,
going
Bonds was going to knock that down.
He was going to knock that down.
Yeah, we was going to win that game straight up.
He was going to win that game, man.
At the end of the day, I'll tap in a little bit on the Steelers. The Steelers are losing games. They're not getting beat very often. I would say they got beat by Philly and the Ravens, but everybody else, the Steelers let people. Yeah, it's just we've made too many crucial mistakes. Russ, he all his mistakes are in the most crucial spots. Very loud. You fumble on the 2-3 yard line against Philly. You know what I mean? You throw a pick in the end zone. I think he did against the Ravens. Like, and then you don't get out of bounds on the final drive. Yeah. It's like he's making very, very loud mistakes. It's bad enough that the offense is slow to get started. That's something we've dealt with all year. But when you actually do get stuff started and get things cooking, as Russ, like people like to say Russ is doing, you can't drop the pan on the floor. You can't be cooking and dropping on the floor right when it's dinner time. You've done that too many times. Receiver that's not living up to his potential at the same time. So you're trying to do too much. Cool out, bro. You're a veteran. You've been doing this for 76 years. You should know better. And it's right on the doorstep of the tournament.
Yeah, you should know better, man.
Like, you better get some get right.
That was just one of them games. I was just really disappointed in what I was seeing in the, out on the football field from Pittsburgh, who I felt like was very much in control, getting turnovers in the second half. Like, they got all the turnovers they needed to get. The defense was playing lights out. I mean, against a high-powered offense that was just blazing at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Burrow came out 6 for 6.
He came out the gate with a full clip.
He was just like this.
Cake Bishop.
First drive, bro.
He was 6 Dutch
from 57.
He was Dutch from Predator. He was just over. He was a Schwarzenegger, man.
Oh man, not that Dutch though.
Yeah, he was killed. Like, he had like the war paint on his face.
That's hilarious.
He came out like
he was
Dutch,
cooking.
Man.
I thought it was all bad, but the Steelers really got it together on defense, though. They really did.
Once they started sitting on them quick routes, the the Bengals can't run the ball. Like they didn't have anything in the clip. Well, I guess they ran the ball a little
They were
bit, but they
solid.
didn't.
They were solid.
But they
It's
kind of
just
emptied. They showed their hand too early with the quick game. Like they went 2 drives, like nothing. But like
yeah,
you can't, because you're not gonna have time
figure it
to
out.
get open. Not with Pittsburgh's D line, like in
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati's offensive line, which has been suspect all year. Actually, amazing that Burrow had the numbers that he had with that poor of an offensive line. And Shea, well, you do got 2 stud receivers. But anywho, um,
Right.
that was kind of like my recap as far as like week 18 is what I
Mm-hmm.
didn't expect because I didn't know what the seeding was going to be in the AFC. It was either going to be Pittsburgh was either going to be 5, depending on if they won, or the Chargers. That was really the real two kind of like where they're going to like stack rank. I did not see Denver losing to Kansas City at all, not with a playoff seed on the line. Denver was not about to give that up at home.
Not if Patrick was not playing. Hell no.
Heck no,
Like I
no.
said,
It was like
they laid down though. They didn't want. They wasn't no part of Cincy though. They was like,
no.
okay,
I don't blame them. I don't blame them
uh-uh.
at all.
Nobody wants to see Burrow in the playoffs because that lets
Mm-mm.
you know you got to play almost perfect on offense.
You do.
You
And
know what I mean?
Kansas City has not been a perfect offense really in
No,
what 2-3 years. Like, what's the
yeah, at least
last
two.
great game that Kansas City has had offensively? I'm talking
Uh,
about where they was cooking on all cylinders.
Christmas Day against the Steelers. Beyond
Yeah,
that, but no. Beyond that, none.
they look
It's
good
been a
against
couple
the
years
Steelers.
though,
They look good
but
against the Steelers. They did.
it is
They
what it
did.
is.
Yeah.
But NFL playoffs are here. The bracket is solidified, very
Mm-hmm.
solidified. Oh man, we got the Chargers in Houston. I know Chargers are so damn happy.
You know,
They're so
Chargers
happy
is
how this turned out. You know what I mean? They gonna step into Houston like she is a
right,
party
right.
again. You know what I mean? Like they super hype.
Mhm.
They avoided Baltimore, of course. AFC North ball right out the gate.
Mhm. Right
I
out the gate.
you know what I mean? Neither one of us will say we're scared. We know what AFC North ball is. It's going to
I'm
be.
definitely nervous, but that one,
It's a
like, that's the one I did not want to see. Like,
yeah. I
it's
mean,
not.
I'm not saying like not scared, but like we know what it is. It's no unknown to this. We both know what
Mhm.
this is. You guys got the last matchup. Y'all figured this out for that time, but we've had your number forever. But regardless of how that
For a long
goes, we know more than likely that this is 3 points,
or less,
3 to 6 points or less
easily,
of a
easily.
deciding
That's
this
what
game.
every single one of them have been, and it usually, for me
Mhm.
at least, as a Ravens fan, it always comes down to coaching. That's why this game scares me because we've routinely been out coached by Tomlin, at least ever since Roethlisberger. Well, I would say since like 2018 when Lamar got there was
Yeah,
at
when
the end of
Lamar got there,
Joe
that's when we
Flacco's
can.
season, and then we started to kind of get the running game started to really start to cook then. But
Mm-hmm.
Tomlin like kind of figured all that out, and then even like in Lamar's MVP season, I want to say he lost the first one. He lost to Pittsburgh that year too. He lost one and he
Yeah,
won one, I think, that year.
yeah. I think that
Uh,
was the year that he won against Mason Rudolph, where Mason Rudolph
mhm.
got knocked out the game, and we still almost won that.
He still almost
Marlon
won it, man.
Humphrey. Marlon Humphrey forced Juju Smith-Schuster
Mm,
to fumble in OT. I remember that.
yep, yep,
But
yep. But
anyways,
that's how them games have been, man. Like I expect
right,
it to be that way because it's always a
right.
fluke play here or there, and it's just a way
Mm-hmm.
that the Steelers can just step up, you know,
I
to
mean,
the. I mean, it's AFC North.
it's
That's all I can
AFC
say.
North ball, man. That's really what it is. Who's gonna have the biggest moments in the right time and correct timing and all that? You know, and who's gonna
Mhm.
hit the field goal at the end? So
Yep.
that's why I say I don't fear this game. If it was like Kansas City, I'd be like, oh shit, we probably gonna get maxed. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like it's just how it is. But when you slide into the AFC North, man, I don't care if it was the Browns or the
Yeah,
Bengals. It don't matter. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be three
most likely
points.
gonna be close.
Yeah. So
I mean, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna end
yeah.
up just like this Cincy and Pittsburgh game, or just like the Pittsburgh and the Ravens games are always been. They're gonna be close, just
Right. Right.
familiar, and you got nothing but tape on those
Hmm.
teams. You see them twice a year.
Right.
You know, you may not
Factual.
have all the pieces in those games, but you still got enough game film to where you're going to be able to like compete. I do like that Denver Bills matchup. That's very, very interesting to me.
Very. Very.
If I'm the Bills, I don't take Denver lightly at all. They
Better
can
not.
sneak
Their
up on
defense
you.
is solid. Yeah.
Their defense is solid. I'm a
Give
big
Bo
Bo
Nix.
Nix fan. He's fearless.
Hmm.
They just don't have enough weapons in the backfield and on the outside. That's the biggest issue with Denver. Defensively, they got probably the
Right.
best corner in the league in Sertain Jr. I mean, he's
That's
nice,
Pat
nice,
Surtain.
nice, nice. The outside linebackers is money. They're a little light when it comes to weight, but on
Hmm.
the D
Yeah, they
line,
are.
but they're fast, they're young. It's always a dangerous squad to go against. You know,
Absolutely. I
and with it
like that
being
one. I'm
cold
for that one.
in Buffalo, I do think Buffalo's going to win that game, but I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down to late in the fourth quarter. Like I
Yeah.
wouldn't be shocked at all.
I wouldn't either. You can, yeah, this game could definitely go many ways, especially when he's talking about Buffalo and the elements have something to do with it. You know, a tip
Mhm.
pass has changed the whole outcome of a game, or something going
Fumble,
off the cold ass hands. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So yeah, it's that simple. That weather plays a very integral part in these
plays
games.
a
So
very integral part, man. That's why the
um,
AFC North game is going to be interesting. In addition to Philly, Green Bay, that's going to be another one that
that's
I
gonna be
feel like
another good one.
that's a field goal game. The
I mean, all
Bucks
these matches are good. To
and and
really look
and
at it.
Commanders, that's going to be a
Yeah.
shootout. Rams
Right.
and Vikings shootout. Like we got some good
Some
matchups,
great
man.
matchups. Yeah,
And a wild
I
card
agree.
round we haven't had in a long time. I mean, the Chargers and Texans is probably the one, but it wouldn't shock me though if the Texans
No,
pulled that one out though
you can't be
at
shocked
all.
at that one. You know what I mean? Both of those teams are like
Chargers
middling.
shouldn't be there. Like the Chargers was not expected to be in that position at all. Not
But they
not
got
in
a
Jim
hardball.
Harbaugh's first season.
They got a
You know,
hardball though, man. You know how them
they do.
hardballs are, man.
They
They
go
figure it
prepared.
out. They figure out a
They
way to
figure it
win.
out.
They
Hmm.
grimy. I mean, he's an AFC North type of coach without being in the
Yeah.
AFC North. You know what I'm saying? He
Half
really
half
is.
half our coaching staff from last year
You.
is there
Roman and them. Yeah. All your
between the
running backs.
Chargers and the Seahawks. Our whole coaching staff is like there. Plus our whole backfield. Both our running backs last year is with the
Yep.
Chargers. Man.
Gus. Yep. Yeah. They took everything from y'all.
It
It's
took
like
everything.
the brothers was talking like, okay, you know that, you know what I
Man,
mean,
I
is
mean
gonna
they
be
got
ready.
Gus,
You know what I
Gus and
mean?
Dobbins, man.
You
Both them
need
dudes is
them.
a problem in the backfield, man. If Dobbins was like if his career, if he would have stayed healthy, we would have never traded him or got rid of him like at all.
Right.
Because I mean, Dobbins is nice, man. He's
Right.
real nice.
Yeah. I mean, they get busy. All right, man. I mean, these are the matchups. I don't want to give predictions because we do have a Friday show.
Mhm,
So that would be
mhm.
nice to get our predictions on that show. But what we do know is there's some great matchups. If you're a football head, I guarantee you will be locked in on the couch
Mhm.
on Saturday and
And
Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah.
Yes, sir. It's going to be a lot of good stuff. There's going to be a lot of disappointed fans in the world. So if you see one, give them a hug because the end of the season
I
is
might be one of
it's
them
abrupt.
guys, man. This is,
I
you
mean,
know,
one of us is going to be one of them guys.
yeah,
One of us, you know what I mean. So the dope thing is, Jason is an AFC North foundation. We
facts.
we, we don't let this divide us. It
Nah,
only
man.
strengthens us. We understand the
Yeah,
importance and the rivalry, but the respect
the
that these
respect,
two
man.
teams in particular, because we don't really have the same with all the other AFC North teams, but these two
Mhm.
teams right here, they're like brothers. They're like,
Facts.
big and little brother, however you want to
Uh,
call it, depending
we
on the
draft
season.
to compete with the Steelers. We don't draft to
Yeah,
compete with Kansas City. We don't
Facts.
draft to compete. We don't give a damn about Buffalo. Like we cook
Right.
Buffalo, but we playing the Steelers is meaningful. Like we have to, because if we
Mm-hmm.
can't beat the Steelers,
Yep.
like we can't win the division, and the Steelers is always
Yep.
going to be a playoff team.
Yep.
So we have to. Our foundational core within our locker room has to be set up to where we can mentally and physically compete with the Steelers. I mean, it just is what
Absolutely.
it is, man.
Yep.
The Steelers
You
have
don't get
set
a
the bar.
patch. You don't get an award or a patch for winning against any other team in those locker rooms. But when you beat a
Mm-mm.
Baltimore Raven or you beat a Steeler,
Mhm.
it's like you're
It's
officially
everything, bro.
initiated in the family of said team. That's just how
It's
it go.
everything, bro. It's
Yep.
everything.
So
I
we
mean,
respect it. We have all nothing but respect. We don't wish nobody ill will, no
injury
harm, no. We just want a
facts.
good matchup. Whoever wins, we win. We might both go cry in the car. We ain't gonna
Exactly.
lie, but it is what it
That's why
is.
it raises the stakes when it's in the playoffs, man. I mean, it's hard enough sitting through those
Yeah,
games
yeah.
during the regular season. It's even more torturous in the playoffs. 'Cause not only is this like I think we played the Steelers. This might be like the fifth or sixth time. Like we met the Steelers in like the wild card or divisional round, which is wild to me.
Wow.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That just shows
Mhm.
you how
Yep.
competitive these two
Yep.
teams are, and it shows you how competitive the division is. And that's why I had that question about like who has the best division in the NFL this year?
Mm,
You know,
man, I mean, we all know that the NFC North probably has
they're
the
probably the
best
best this year.
teams right now that are playing the best right
Mm-hmm.
now. I don't know if he was to match all the teams up with the AFC North. You know what I mean? Because
It would be a bloodbath.
the Bengals still could get busy. You know, they're gonna get Swiss cheesed on defense, but they're gonna score with you.
I
And
mean, to me, a Bengals Lions matchup would be
that would be
wild.
fire.
Like,
It would be
you
wild.
know,
Fireworks.
I don't know, which is funny because I don't know if the Bengals don't match up well with the Vikings though.
The
The
Vikings are too
Vikings
stout.
they too stout on defense.
Mhm.
They too stout on like
Yeah.
just same way the Philly was a horrible matchup for the Bengals. Like that defensive
Mhm.
line was just going that was probably the biggest mismatch of the season. But if I
Right.
had to rank them, I would definitely say NFC North. I would
Mhm.
then go probably AFC North,
AFC
and
North.
then I would go AFC West. Probably would be my third,
Chargers.
and
Raiders.
then the NFC East would probably be the second for me, because
NFC
Philly
East.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
you're right. You're right.
I slightly put the AFC West over the NFC East because they got 3 playoff teams.
Yep.
I mean, 3 playoff teams, and they
True.
all got great defenses. Like, if you look at the AFC West collectively, they probably got the best defensive units collectively.
So I gotta look
Like
at
the
I'm trying to find.
Chargers, Denver, and Kansas City all got great defenses that can cause
I
problems.
agree.
That can cause
I'm trying to
problems.
find some
Uh,
standings right now. Let's see. I'm
mhm.
trying to find the standings just so I can have a mental picture and have all this stuff. Man, I don't never be on this NFL side. I'm usually on ESPN, so that's what I'm gonna do real quick
Mhm.
before we jump off of here, just so we can see.
But NFC South is
Don't
definitely the worst league. No, I'm sorry, AFC East. The AFC East is
you think
definitely
the
the worst
AFC
league.
East?
The AFC
Oh
East is worse.
yeah, Patriots, Jets. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You right on that
Patriots
one.
and
Lord knows
Jets
you
are both in a lottery.
right.
They got too many
It's
lottery
so
teams
bad.
in that league, man.
Let's see. I'm gonna pull it up real quick, and then we're gonna skedaddle on y'all. Let me get this in here
Mhm.
though. All right, there we go. There we go. So yeah, AFC East. mm, I mean, they weren't very good. That's for sure. Golly,
At all. I mean, they didn't
got the
have a
North.
team. They had one team with a winning record.
Yeah, AFC South, AFC East, both garbage. Garbage.
Goodbye. Yes, actually,
Yeah,
AFC South might be the worst.
yeah. I would probably
Well,
go.
I,
No,
I, I
I
would
would
take
go.
I would
I would
take
go to East.
Indianapolis and the Texans over Miami, the Jets, and New England.
Yeah, yeah. I would go AFC East as the worst still in the
Yeah,
AFC. Best still AFC North, then AFC West, and so forth.
yeah,
Ooh, definitely NFC North. With them other
man,
ones, yeah, you would have to go.
man.
Yeah,
NFC
I'll probably
West
go
was tough.
East.
NFC West was tough this year too, man.
No, that was tough. I just think the Eagles and Commanders are just better than those teams. Even
Facts,
though I think the
facts.
Rams are very sneaky good. Like I could see
They
the
are.
Rams knocking
They was
off.
Seahawks was good this year. Arizona Cardinals upset some teams. I mean,
Mhm.
really, in San Fran underachieved. So if you really think about it, the
Facts,
NFC West was set up to have a NFC North type of year.
factuals.
Hmm.
I don't know though. I think if you they might have cannibalized themselves if the Niners actually were good this year. You might
True.
take them because did Seattle beat the Niners? I bet the Rams and the
I
Seahawks
mean,
beat the Niners
the
this year.
Niners was 1-5 in the division.
Yeah, so everybody was eating off of them. It was like,
You know, so-
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, so that was I forget what they call that, where an animal lives off another animal
Uh-huh.
in nature. Man, I
That's
don't
what's
know,
crazy
but
about Detroit, man. Detroit went undefeated in that division. And Green Bay was 1-5 in the division. Because they lost
mm,
twice to Detroit. They lost twice to Minnesota. So 4 of their L's was to division
dang,
opponents.
I understand. Look at Detroit is gangster though. They won six.
Yeah,
They won all
man.
of them, bro. That's
Oh,
wild.
man, that's
That's
rare.
wild.
That's rare you see a
That's
team
super
sweep
rare.
a division.
That's
Because
super
even
rare,
Philly
bro.
didn't sweep their division either. I mean,
Mm-mm.
Philly lost to the Commanders.
Yeah.
Nobody swept their division except for them
Nope.
in Kansas
Except
City.
Detroit. That's crazy. Kansas City.
I think
Oh, they did, didn't they? No, they didn't. They lost one. I think they
that's
lost to
right.
the
They
Raiders.
lost to
That
Denver.
was
They lost to
oh, was it
Denver, the
Denver? Oh
Broncos,
yeah,
the
yeah,
very
yeah, yeah,
last
yeah.
game.
Right.
But
Yep.
I don't even consider that a real L because they sat everybody.
Yeah, they'd have probably tapped them if they everybody played.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, big time. But yeah, man, I think it's safe to say AFC North and NFC North are the best two divisions in the league
Yeah.
right now.
Mhm.
But there's some close ones though. There's some close ones. Any given Sunday.
It is.
Yeah.
Did the Steelers beat the Commanders or did y'all lose to the Commanders? I
Nah,
can't
we
remember.
beat the Commanders. We beat the
Okay.
Commanders, but we lost to the Cowboys and we
Yeah,
beat the
we beat them
Giants.
too. We beat the Commanders, we beat the Cowboys, and beat the Giants. So we was 3-1 against the division. We lost to the
Mm.
Eagles. Uh, let me see. What was the other? We lost to the damn Raiders in Kansas City. So we did go two and two. It
Yeah,
was like, that loss to the Raiders, man. I mean, we started the season 0-2.
I ain't want to talk about our losses, bro. The last three losses, well, four
But y'all
losses.
didn't lose to any teams like the Raiders, though. I mean, you lost to
Only
the
two.
Browns like we
We
did
lost
too. We
to
lost
the
to the Browns as well.
Browns, we lost to the Colts, and we lost to the Cowboys. And then we lost to Philly,
Y'all lost to the
Chiefs.
Cowboys early when they was actually okay and they had Dak. They was okay. They wasn't great, but they was just okay. Like
Heavy,
lowercase o, lowercase k. They was just okay.
bro. That loss was so unacceptable in my eyes, but
Mm.
it is what it
It
is.
was at home, I agree, but losing to
Yeah,
the Raiders, bro, at the crib. I mean, that's the reason why we're not the 2 seed, man. Like we playing y'all because we lost it. We couldn't beat the Raiders at home.
yeah, yeah, man. I
You
mean, we
can't
can
when you
all go
can't beat
over
the
our
Raiders and the
schedule.
Browns, and the type of seasons that they have, like that's the type of record you're gonna have. Even Cincy swept the Browns.
Hey man, it's just how it is, bro. You know it's gonna happen every single season. You're gonna lose to somebody.
Have no business
You're gonna be
losing.
like, how did you lose that game? And then at the end of the season, when you're looking at seeding or whatever, you're gonna be like, bruh, that one game is the one that really got us here.
Since he's
You know
looking at
what
that
I'm saying?
Patriots loss, game 1 of the year, like that's the one that kept him out the playoffs. Losing to the Patriots.
Fam, just how it goes, bro. That's how it
I
goes.
ain't mad, but you know.
I thank you guys. I thank y'all for not letting Cincy get in. That's all I'm gonna say. Shout out to the Patriots. I've never said that one time in my life, but today we're gonna say that. Shout out to the Patriots. For real, for real. Shout out to the Patriots. All right, man. Well, shoot. I think we can conclude this show. We actually went 25 minutes over that we expected, but it's okay. It's okay. Just we covered a lot of ground. We had a lot of good discussions and conversations about some things that we like to talk about. So that's all that matters. On that note, tune in, keep tuning in because listen, we got more content coming. Like we said, Friday show, we probably will give out predictions so we can be in front of this when the weekend happens. Then we can go back Monday or Tuesday and be like, I told you so, or damn, I didn't know that was gonna happen. But regardless, we gotta have the receipts, fam. We gotta have the receipts, you know what I mean?
Gotta have them receipts.
But yeah, man. And we'll talk about that. And then we have more Marvel stuff coming down the pipeline. Just keep watching. We got stuff pumping out. Jay Camp, you got anything else to say before we skedaddle?
Nah, man. Just salute to the peoples, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell when you want to know when we tapping in. As Son said, we got a whole lot more content on the way. Got a whole lot of projects coming up on the way as well. Make sure you cop that Campfires on a Sunday.
Facts.
It is fire. So make sure you cop it. You know,
Yes,
we I guess that's a good New Year's gift for you. I'm sure you know about you got a birthday coming up. Give them at Campfires on a Sunday. But outside of that, man, make sure y'all tune in to all these NFL matchups. Make sure y'all keep in touch with all the Marvel stuff that's dropping, and we're gonna make sure we give it to you as well. Pause.
Absolutely, absolutely. Everybody be safe out there, especially if you're in the Midwest, man. The winter time is really here and it's hammering a lot of places. Thank goodness my city only got the little sprinkles. It got the and then it gets skedaddled on us. But you know what I mean? Give a little salt, man. You know what I'm talking about? But if you go 30 minutes or 45 minutes south, they got hammered.
Hey.
So just be careful out there, y'all. Say put a prayer in the air for those who on the sick and shut in list, like in church.
Right, sick and shut in, and they got no power.
Right, I mean, no power. Yeah, I mean, can't make them bologna sandwiches. It's just rough out in the streets. It's rough out these streets. But nah, seriously though, people going through it though, right? You know what I mean? People are actually going through it right now. So, you know, keep them in your prayers and everybody be safe. Be safe watching football this weekend too, even though I guess we'll talk to you before then. But you know how we do when you watching the game, you might have a sip, a little extra, you know what I mean? Chill out, y'all. Do that at the crib if y'all gonna do that.
Facts.
But on that note, facts. On that note, we are Jason. This is the Jason Files Show where we cover music, Marvel, and sports, and we are out. Time to skedaddle. Holla. J Cap. Sunny, sun. And we out. All right. One love.